Right, good afternoon. Welcome to Bira Direct's presentation on Glee and hopefully participation at this year's show in June 27-29. Just a bit of general housekeeping first. For those that don't know me, I'm Jeff Moody. Hopefully you do. But if you've got any questions, can I ask that you use the Q&A and submit it? Virginia and I will be keeping an eye on that during James's presentation, and I'll present James to you. The whole reason for this is to tell you how Glee has changed, why Bira wants to be part of it, and just in terms of a much more open discussion about trade shows and what we can do with our membership. So what do we believe really are the partnership benefits for working with Bira at Glee? Well, hopefully most of you know that we work on behalf of our members. So everything we do goes back into the membership. Members order through us, place their orders with you as a supplier, and we do it. The greatest benefit for you is obviously we take on the payment guarantee. Our members get improved terms, and we really want to push that at Glee this year. So one of the things that we're really trying to build on is that Glee this year will cover all the main areas that Bira Direct looks after, be it hardware, be it cookware, pets and outdoor. And for the first time, I think we found an exhibition that covers our entire membership. So we're quite confident that our members will be coming in different categories. So we'll have a lot of different types of members there visiting the show, because it really ticks off a lot of boxes. Obviously, we've got over 2,000 brands and 160 suppliers. But the key is that we will be marketing out to our members now, right till the run up to Glee, about all the promotions that we'll be doing, which brands are at the show and which will be at the Bira Village, which we'll talk to you about. So I think that the key benefit for us is that we exhibited at Spring Fair and we had a village this year. And what was great about it was our members came, but more importantly, they ordered. And they were just pleased to be back at trade shows. And we know there's certain shows on cookware and there's shows on tools. What this show means that a general independent retailer can come and look at all aspects of his business. So we'll be running the Glee £100 voucher, and that's for any member who turns up and spends £400 with a Bira Direct supplier at Glee. So that's a 25% discount. It worked really well at Spring Fair, where we had over 20 suppliers participate. They were all pleased with the return on investment. And I think the key is every one of those vouchers was redeemed. So everyone not only just took the voucher, but spent at the show. So for me, it's all about doing what our members have asked us for. They want us to be at Glee. They want us to try and put a village together. But more importantly, it's a meeting point for independent retailers. So as far as Bira is concerned, we're delighted to be working with James at Glee. And hopefully James will tell you some of the changes that's happened at Glee, which might be interesting for you as a different type of business. So James, I'm going to pass over to you, if that's all right. I'm just going to mute my camera and take my picture off screen, because I think people have seen enough of me. And I'll stop sharing and I'll let you take over.
Brilliant. Okay. Thank you, Jeff. Really appreciate that. Let me just, first of all, share my screen. Hopefully it will bring up the presentation. Can everyone see that? Presentation.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah,
Thank
I can
you.
see that. Thanks, James.
Good news. Thank you. No, yeah, thanks, Jeff. Really appreciate that. And yeah, just what my purpose here today would be is just to give you the heads up on Glee, give you a bit of an understanding of Glee as a trade show, how we've developed and grown over the last few years, and obviously what we're aiming to or planning to do with this in this June. Where we've got this new DIY sector and the opportunities surrounding that. But yeah, I think first of all, let's cover Glee and what it is a trade show. I'm sure you probably all know about Glee, but so Glee is the leading trade show for garden retail and outdoor living, particularly garden retail, where it's attracting sort of 5,500 visitors, quite diverse visitor base. In fact, you've got the garden retail in majority of that market comes to Glee, and that's sort of 1,600 garden centre businesses, whether they're multiples or independents at different sizes, equating to about 2,200 UK garden retail stores. And obviously you've got the DIY retailers. So we've got the DIY retailer chains that come, and also independents, and also then high street supermarkets, online retail. So it's quite a diverse visitor base. But then really what's happened with Glee, we've been growing steadily as a marketplace for the last few years. And then during the pandemic, it was interesting to see that that growth was accelerated, and even a million new consumers were captured through that period of time. So, and actually, in fairness to Garden, have kept a lot of those new customers. And we certainly see the forecast is that will continue as growth, and it will stay in a very important, solid marketplace as it is today, and grow further. To give you an understanding of a snapshot of how important the visitor is, you've got some stats here from last year. 75% have a sole or joint purchase responsibility. That's quite a decent percentage. You've then got 1.7 billion combined annual budget among Glee buyers in total for last year. That was 52% visitors are C-suite professionals, so certainly decision makers of their business, and then 41% is brand new to Glee. So we have a really healthy percentage of new brands that come to Glee. And it's a big focus for garden retail, particularly, and I'm sure DIY, to find new brands and new clients to work with. So it's a very strong visitor base. That sort of highlights that for you. And what we're doing, really, well, we're launching DIY. We've thought long and hard over the last couple of years about the direction of Glee, and it made complete sense to bring DIY into our show. Home improvement. It's a huge market. It's a growth market. It's very much like the garden retail market is. But we've already got a sizable element of independents and multiples that attend the show. And it made complete sense to set up a relationship with Bira and Beta, particularly Bira, and then really help to sort of bring this to reality and give the DIY market essentially a really good trade show platform to work from, and obviously for then DIY retailers, independent at multiple, to engage with their target audience, as well as coupled with the exciting sort of opportunities through garden retail and what that represents. Because garden retail, as some of you might know, is that they've diversified in all sorts of different directions over the years. They've become sort of mini department stores, and they're certainly now including within their internal space DIY products and so on, to cater for their demographic, which is ideal, because most of their client base, a lot of them are DIY enthusiasts. I think also bearing in mind another reason for the DIY sector, and synergy between the two, and to really put it in place properly here, is that because of the softer market, obviously the housing market, we know that there's more and more DIY enthusiasts out there that are doing jobs around the home, and there's blurred lines now between inside and outside jobs that are done. So it's quite interesting how that's developed. So it's very much a strong market, and the two together will be even stronger. So Glee is a perfect place to launch new products. Obviously, it's a hell of a platform for that. I've seen that time and time again with the brands that I've worked with over the years. Find new customers, which is absolute key, to bring on board those new accounts that will be excellent repeat business and help you grow your own businesses. And then nurture obviously existing, which is, again, we all know that now we're back to choose trade shows. The importance of connecting with your existing clients, presenting your new products if you have them, or your new ranges, or just really developing that side of your business is so important. You've then got well, obviously we're placed in the NEC, which I think is an absolutely ideal central place and location for majority of the markets. Being centrally placed in Birmingham really helps, say, from Scotland, the Midlands, other parts of the country to attend farther afield and benefit from being at Glee. Also, our international visitors, we have about 8% roughly of international visitors. That's growing as well, so that's good. We've got a very strong visitor base from international, from Europe and beyond. So what I'd like to do is, if I can just allow you to watch this video, it's the highlights of last year, but it does give you a feel of Glee and a taster of it. So let me play this for you now. Okay. So thank you for that. And moving on to our show sectors, actually. We've got 9 strong sectors, show sectors at Glee. As Jeff was alluding to, it covers a lot of your members and suppliers and gives them what they need in all the different areas that they work within. But so DIY home improvement is our new sector. It's going to be a really good sector. It's right at the front of our show. I'll show you a bit more about that later. Home and gift and clothing is a massive category for garden retail. It's been in growth for a number of years and it's expanding all the time in different directions. It's a great revenue creation for garden retail. Our pet, animal and well-being sector is again a growth area. As you probably know, 80% of garden retail have a decent pet offering in store, and that's growing. So actually very much a growth area. So it's an important category for us and for garden retail. Retail services and experiences. So anyone that providing a service to garden centres is in solid shape and has been for years. Garden care is one of our core categories. Anything to do with the garden, as you'd expect. Landscaping, outdoor decoration, again, all the aggregates and so on, and the landscaping bits and pieces that go on within the show. They're both core categories. Outdoor entertainment has taken a huge uplift over the last couple of years because of the pandemic, and barbecues, outdoor furniture, etc. So that's big business as well for Glee. And then you've got plants. Obviously, crazily enough, plants is 18% of a garden centre's overall business now, revenue-wise, which is tells you a story on how they've grown and developed over the years. But then sourcing is fairly new for us. It's the manufacturers from overseas, and obviously we're catering for those. That's where a business or a garden centre business can actually contact directly with the manufacturers. And that's actually going to go really well for this year as well. So that's our show sectors for the show. Moving on, DIY and home improvement sector. So listen, I think where we are with this, it's about engaging, getting you in front of your independent and multiple DIY stores. We're going to attract, especially now with Bira on board, and it's going to do a really good job of that, and it puts you in a very strong position to engage. Present your DIY and home improvement opportunity to garden centres. So these are the key objectives for us. So I think really there's a huge opportunity for garden retail to take on different DIY and home improvement products, and they are. And it's about you getting your get foot in the door with these garden centre businesses, whether it's an independent through to a multiple, and start working with them. Our partnership with Bira and Beta is going to really help us create the maximum exposure and enable you to meet and greet who you need to meet and greet to do well at Glee for the first year. Hopefully, if you're exhibiting at the end of June, but we've struck up is going to help you be at Glee, have less money investment required to do so, and give you a host of benefits, as Jeff has already explained. So they're the 3 main objectives here, really. And moving on, we've got retail opportunities. So who would you meet? Well, I think there's, first of all, garden retail. This is a selection of some names that we have here, that some of the larger independents, some of the multiples. There's it's about 30 multiples throughout the country, different sizes, and there's about 1,800 stores that are are independents, and they're all different sizes. Even the one store independent like Bent's, for example, can be an incredible business to be in. Most of these guys are all really innovative in what they're doing. A lot of them are family run, and they really care about their customers, and they're really focused on finding new brands to work with and diversifying their offering to their customers. Also, you've then got the department stores that come to the show, as well as multiples. As you can see, B&M, Wilko's of this world, the DIY sheds and multiples, Homebase, Wix, etc. Rob Dyer's, they come, obviously Stacks and Deco as well. But yeah, it's a diverse range of different department stores and multiples that come. Then got online retailers, which is important to note. Actually, there's some really good relationships to be struck up with the online retailers that can be an exceptional business for you moving forward. So that's the snapshot really of the retailer opportunities available at Glee. So the Bira partnership. So what we've got here is the creation of a central hub for DIY and home improvement right at the front of our show on one of our busiest entrances. It's important to really sort of maximise on best engagement. Provide an area for suppliers to engage and really, as I say, hit those target audiences and diversify and grab attention of garden retail. Offer a fully equipped suppliers package. So we've done that. We've negotiated a really good package for you guys to benefit from. A fully equipped shelf scheme package that also is has a significant discount applied to it for all suppliers that are aiming to exhibit. And also open up marketing opportunities. There's a marketing support package that you're paying for. It's a host of tools in there that we need to work on together once you're booked in, to really sort of maximise on getting on the agenda and getting decent exposure out before the show, during and after. And I'll talk some more about that in a short while, another slide. And then really, as I say, discounted, to recap on that, a significant discount for Bira suppliers. So this is our plan. So on the right hand side, you've got 4 halls of the NEC. All the entrances are on the right hand side, and all the restrooms and restaurants are on the left. Again, as you can see, our bigger brands are in hall 20 and hall 6 and 7, and then filtering down, you've got some really important categories of our show: pets, home and gift in red, and that blue area, which is our new DIY sector and home improvement sector. So that's circled in blue. Right, it's on one of our busiest entrances that's nearest to public transport. It's got a big registration site on it, and it's going to get an excellent footfall through it. And then on the left-hand side, that blow-up version of that sector, it gives you an understanding of who's booked in so far. We've got a good collection benefiting from the first year. Rustin's, I'm sure you know. Wilson's is a massive DIY wholesaler and homewares. Sudal, a massive DIY brand as well. So you've got Black & Decker, Lead Lenser, and also others joining very soon. I'm in talks with quite a few others. So some really good brands that hopefully will also be booking in soon. And then you've got the green banks there in front of us with Bira and Beta written on them. So Bira and Beta have got their own stands, and they're overlooking that village area, and that broken up into different size stands. So we can look at what your situation is, what sort of budget you may have to work with, and then obviously work out where you're best to be in the village area. Now, bearing in mind that not only on the entrance, but that grey aisle, that 4-metre aisle that runs through the plan, that is essentially our main 4-metre boulevard, which gets the most footfall. And the Bira Village is directly on that boulevard. So it's again in a very strong position for that reason. Also above, as I say, it's also important to note that red area directly above the DIY and home improvement area is the home and gift pavilion. That's a package promotional area we set up this year. Normally we'd we'd put to home gift would be mixed throughout our plan, and I'd pick and choose where you go, and that's worked well for us and for that sector. But because of the growth of it, we thought, well, it needs its own sector area. We've done that this year, and the appetite for it is absolutely taken off. And we've filled out that area with some amazing collection of home and gift brands, which is really going to attract the buyer and the business owner to that area, which is directly sitting above you, which is good news. So that's the village. Now, moving on, I just wanted to give you a sort of an understanding of what the stands will look like. So part of the package that we're putting in, it includes enhanced cladding. So as you can see in these images, it's where instead of you got the aluminium framework exposed, they're covered with this really nice looking coloured wooden borders around it. So it totally transforms it into something much more special and inviting and engaging. The colour for that cladding is also going to be in the Bira brand colours of dark blue, which is good. So they can make the whole area stand out, which is what we want. And also, if you look inside the stands, you've got spotlights thrown in as well as a name board. With name boards will also have branding of Bira on them as well as your brand or your banner name. So it's it's good looking stands that we're gonna create for you, and a really wonderful platform for you to present yourselves. So moving on from that, we've got the marketing. So I'm a massive believer in preparation. The more prep you do for a show, the better show you'll have. I truly believe that over the years of doing this. We've got a marketing support package that really is a host of tools in there that really do a very good job at getting you good exposure and on the agenda. Once you're booked in, I'll set up a planning meeting with everyone and give you the complete heads up on these tools, making sure guidance and support, and giving you the ability to tap into these at the right time and maximize on them. Whether it's the Glee lookbook, which is a digital lookbook we're presenting purely for new business to our whole database and visitor database that's coming to Glee, and that's going to be amazing. It's got really nicely polished lookbook that gives you the ability to get on the agenda. Meetings program from Gene Buyers Connect as well. That's going to be really useful for you. Hopefully get you some meetings at the show. And so, yeah, there's a host of stuff in there. We'll cover that in more detail once we've discussed and connected, hopefully. And I can run you through all the attributes of that marketing support package. So moving on, so proposed investments. So what we are, as I said before, we've negotiated a significant discount for Bira suppliers. So normal costs for shell scheme is $445 per square metre, and that would include walling, carpet, name board, spotlights, and enhanced cladding. What we've done with that, we've reduced that by 12.5%. So all Bira member suppliers will get 12.5% off their discounts as a discount, and also the compulsory 450 support marketing package, which is, as I say, it's 450 one-off cost, which covers all those tools that we definitely need to get you on the agenda. If you wanted to go space only, you could do, and that's 325. That's an option if you're over 20 or 20 and over square meters. So there are some stands around this area that we can look at if you wanted to do that. I'm happy to do that. Again, it's 12.5% off that 325. So that's your investment required. Next steps. So really, next steps is I would like to field any interest that you have. Please contact me directly. I think it's the best way of doing it on my email, which you can see there, and CC in John as well, so we can see what's going on. My contact number there is obviously there for you to contact me, but definitely just get in contact, either one, and then I think we should set up a call and discuss what's exactly what you're all about as a business, what your objectives are, and what you'll be presenting, and then work out how we can find a solution for you to be at Glee this year. It's on a first come, first served basis, obviously. So that village, as you can see there, we've already got a couple of people on there, like Likewise Matting. They're already booked in. So that will fill out quite quickly. So do come to us as soon as you can, so we can sort of field your interest. And then, yeah, so that's really where we are with that. I think John post this presentation. We'll send the presentation on to you, so you've got the details and information that we've gone through. Also, I think it's worth you having a DIY press release that we've released recently. It's a really good read as to what we're doing and why we're doing it, to give you a much better, deeper understanding. And so that'll be sent on to you as well. But yeah, that's absolutely fine. John will do that post this presentation. And really, that's it. So thank you for your time today. Really appreciate you attending and listening. I hope you've everything's been clear and you've understood where we are with this. But listen, if you're not clear or any questions, or certainly hopefully to progress your interest, please get in contact. But for now, if I could open the floor to everyone for any questions.
James, I'm not going to ask a question, but I'm just going to reiterate, and thanks very much for that. I think you've covered most of what people would want to ask. The flexibility in stand positioning is just that we've got suppliers on the call at various sections. So what James was alluding to in the way that the stand is presented is that we can actually cater where you are within the Bira Village. So if you're more home improvement, you'll be on that side. If you're more kind of gift and housewares, and also if you're pets. So we will flex the mix of the stand to reflect your key audience. The point that I really want to emphasize is that when you get off public transport, Hall 8 is normally the route I come in through. And that's, I think, where most people come in through. It's a fantastic footfall procedure. I think the one thing I'd like to get over is that Glee is a relatively long-standing event, but I think this year it offers a much bigger opportunity to broaden its kind of reach to our retailers. So we'll be there, we'll be promoting really strongly this year. I think the key thing for us is follow us on the website. There'll be lots of updates coming on, but James, hopefully you'll get some feedback from some of the suppliers directly. We've actually recorded this as well. John and Virginia have recorded it. So if anyone wants a copy of the recording to share within their business, please let John know and he'll do that for you. I put on my circulator, we get done within 30 minutes. James, you're spot on. So thanks again for keeping to schedule. If there is any questions, and you don't want to raise them now, please put them through to James's contact numbers. Everyone on the call will have this emailed to them today, and we'll give all the details out. So from Bira's side, we're committed fully to it. There's a big campaign going on. And I think, unless I've missed anything, I don't think there's any questions for you, James. So I'm pretty sure we've covered everything. Virginia, Jeff, have I missed anything?
There is one question, which is, what is the minimum square meters for a shell scheme? I believe it's 2 by 2. 2 by 2,
yeah. And if you look at, obviously, if it's still sharing, which it is, I think the Bira Village is broken up, but we can facilitate a 2 by 2, which is the minimum.
Well spotted, John. I missed that, so thank you. I think the key is the flexibility. If you want to try your hand at Glee, this gives you a good way of touching, kind of dipping your toe and looking at it. But it's an event you, as every part of this business model should be. You should be visiting there anyway, and hopefully you should be exhibiting. So hopefully we'll see you all at the Bira Village. But if you've got anything, please reach out. And thank you very much for giving us half an hour of your time. James, really appreciate that.
No problem at all. Thanks all. Really appreciate it. Hopefully to connect soon.